We are in a national crisis because all levels of government have failed to acknowledge the seriousness of this crisis. On top of that, we see a glaring difference in the treatment of Indigenous and racialized protesters as opposed to the way the convoy is being treated. Canadians are deeply concerned about that. So what is the Prime Minister going to do to address the serious concerns that people have that there is a disproportionate treatment of racialized people and Indigenous people as compared to the convoy, and what will he do to fix that?
And because I think it's important that they understand our openness to dialogue, but the urgency that motivates all of us to get this resolved as quickly as possible. I don't think it is their intent to have such a significant impact on everyday Canadians. The conditions and concerns that were raised by the protesters and by the hereditary chiefs have been addressed.
What about the Prime Minister? Any plans for him to meet, to go to the wet, sweating territory?
You know, I will tell you that the Prime Minister has stepped up. He has engaged his entire government.
All right, this is the moment. I mean, the RCMP have said we're going to get off that critical piece of land on wet, sweating territory. I got to ask you the question, how soon do you believe the blockades can and will come down?
I think the time has come, and I think it's time for the blockades to come down. The RCMP over the past several weeks, they went in and enforced the injunction after almost 38 days of discussion with it. Well, we've now begun to see the police taking action, and I know they've begun to make arrests today. They're doing what is necessary and what we require them to do to protect Canadian interest and to protect Canadian sovereignty.
It is fair to say then that the Emergency Measures Act is being actively discussed at the Incident Response Group and around Cabinet?
On a daily basis and right from the beginning.
I mean, there are other options on the table. I know the Prime Minister was asked on Friday about bringing in the military, about using the Emergency Measures Act. I know it is not his preference, but if there was never ever a moment for the Emergency Measures Act, Minister, is this not it?
I have no idea how the Prime Minister of this country can sit back and let this happen. The Prime Minister of a G7 nation can't solve this. The Prime Minister of one of the wealthiest countries in the world can't make sure people are safe in the nation's capital. People are fed up, and we need to immediately see leadership to fix this.